all of the existing Windows Phone 7.5 apps will run great with no modification on these new resolutions. If you're a developer, your app is going to run and look terrific, and I'm going to show you some examples of this later. The resolution change is invisible to you. Now, of course, if you want to go exploit the new resolution, you're welcome to do that, and we make that possible, but it's not necessary. As an end user, all the things that you would expect to work still work, but your experience just gets better. Third, we're introducing removable micro SD support as a core part of the platform. And this core micro SD support spans both the PC and the phone. The scenarios are valuable both to consumers, but also to developers and to hardware vendors. What this enables that's different than what Windows Phone 7.5 has today is that an end user can add a micro SD card months after they buy the phone, expanding their storage, and then they can use it to transfer content from their PC to their phone, from phone to phone, can be used as a distribution vehicle for apps, and it supports all these things in a very natural, integrated way in the Metro experience. We didn't want to deliver this feature until we could do it in a way that would be easy to use, predictable, and high performant, and we think we've got that nailed in Windows Phone 8. Not only does this help consumers, but it helps our hardware vendors and mobile operators as well, because it lets them range and stock phones in stores that are lower cost at time of purchase, because they don't need to put as much storage in the phone to begin with. If a user needs it, they can always add it later. So these are three important things that are going to help Windows Phone scale up and scale down on great new hardware this fall. I mentioned some of the core technologies that are shared in this shared core, the kernel, networking, multimedia. One of the areas that we've actually been doing code sharing for a while is in our number 2 platform feature, IE10. Once again this year, we will have the latest and greatest Internet Explorer built into Windows Phone 8, and that core HTML rendering and JavaScript technology is the same between Windows on your slate or your laptop or your desktop and Windows on your phone. It's the same rendering, which means that HTML authors, website authors, can author once, test on Windows PCs or laptops or slates, and know that the same markup in JavaScript will work on the phone. Of course, this year we haven't stopped in terms of its capability, and a few of the areas that we've added new benefits for end users and web authors is, for end users, we're including the smart screen anti-phishing technology that's part of Internet Explorer today. And I'll show you that a little bit later and talk about that benefit. For web authors, though, equally good for end users, the biggest change is our support for the HTML5 standard, filling that out even more, particularly this year including touch support, and improving our JavaScript performance. In fact, our JavaScript performance has gotten so good that we are proud to show the SunSpider measurement. This is in milliseconds, so lower is better. Here's how Windows Phone 8's current builds of IE10 stack up against current phone competition. And these are no slouch phones. These are fast, powerful, dual-core phones in general here, and this is Windows 8 performing against them on similar dual-core hardware. So we're proud to see Internet Explorer technology from the line of desktop to laptop to slate to phone all improve and be part of the benefit that all our customers will get this fall with Windows Phone 8. If you think about the web as kind of a platform where web authors are writing web apps and delivering applications to users, and the fact of the code being the same, creating benefit for those web developers, well, there's another class of developers that we have big, exciting news for as a result of the shared core. And that is native code developers. And in particular, go ahead, it's all right. If you're a native code developer and you've been waiting for this, we're happy to hear that you're happy. The biggest effect that we think this will have on Windows Phone 8 is we're going to see some freaking killer games this year. And later on, you're going to get to see some examples of some of the work that's in progress. But there are a whole lot of benefits that come out of a shared architecture between Windows on PCs and laptops and slates and Windows on the phone. They both share DirectX. They both share common graphics drivers. And what this means is a game developer who authors an unbelievable, detail-rich, immersive, compelling game experience for the PC, has a super easy port of their native game to the phone. And with our shared core, we're going to be scaling up the capability of that phone hardware, so you're going to see some beefy, powerful phones running some amazing games this year. Another scenario that's actually quite beneficial in our support for native code is portability. We've gotten a lot of feedback from developers who have written some complex apps on iOS or Android using those platforms' native code capability, and today it's more difficult than we or they would like to move those apps to Windows Phone. It's been a little bit of drag on us getting some apps, but with native code support, suddenly portability becomes much more easy for developers with that kind of investment. The net of this, in our opinion, is that we will see more apps, we'll see bigger, important apps coming faster, and we're going to see some unbelievably beautiful and immersive games running on Windows Phone like no games we've seen before. Going back to sort of hardware, there's another hardware feature that we're enabling that spans benefit from end user to hardware vendor to developer, and that is support for native NFC. And I raise this as a comment as part of the shared core because our support for NFC isn't limited to the phone. The shared Windows core supports NFC hardware and enables NFC scenarios between phones and laptops, slates, and PCs. And later on, I'm going to give you a demo of some of the specific things that we're enabling both in our built-in experience and with third-party apps because of the great, simple connectivity that's made possible via NFC. NFC is kind of a good segue to another good platform benefit, and that is Windows Phone 8 will include what we think will be the most complete wallet experience on any smartphone this fall. Well, let me tell you a little bit about what I mean and why we think this is going to be the most complete wallet experience. If you think about the goal of a wallet on a phone, our new Wallet Hub probably has the same goal as any other wallet on any other phone, which is to effectively replace the physical wallet that you might have in your pocket. And that physical wallet does a number of things. It stores your credit cards and your debit cards. It stores your membership cards, your AAA or your frequent flyer. It stores things like coupons. It lets you take them out and pay for things. Our wallet does all of that. It both integrates third-party services into the wallet experience when you install a third-party app, so you have one place to go to see account balances, to see your frequent flyer information, or to pull a coupon out to redeem it. It integrates that via a third-party app API. It also supports secure NFC payments. So if you have a phone with an NFC chip built in, and in our case, a SIM from your mobile operator that has a secure element, we call this a secure SIM. A secure SIM enables your phone to be scanned at point of sale so that you can use those cards in your wallet to make purchases and payments. Our wallet spans the full range of scenarios, including secure payment to third-party scenarios like your frequent flyer card. And one of the things that's interesting about this, as this area has developed within the smartphone within the smartphone area, we've seen Google with their wallet enable secure NFC payments by putting the secure element in the device. And an unfortunate side effect for that has been that some mobile operators have chosen to remove the Google Wallet because the mobile operators themselves want to provision those secure elements and enable their customers to maintain their secure payment instruments as they move from one phone to the next. In general, the mobile operators prefer the model of a secure element on the SIM. And in many ways, that's better for end users too, because it means easy transition from one phone to the next. Our model works with mobile operators to deliver secure element on the SIM, and that's different than Google's model. Like Apple's model, our wallet also provides for integration with third-party apps and services. I'm going to give you a demo of this, so everything I'm describing is going to make more sense when you see the real code in action. But before I get to that, I do want to transition over and let you hear firsthand from our lead mobile operator partner on Wallet, and that is Orange in France. Orange has been a pioneer in this area working on Wallet, and we've been partnering deeply with Orange to make sure we have the right technology and the right service infrastructure to deliver an experience that will be delightful for end users. So let's cut to a video of Yves Metra from Orange talking about our wallet.
We have been the first one in Europe to deploy the NFC transaction system. You guys, you have been able to put in the same experience something very easy and very convenient for customers. You have also been capable to align your solution with a GSMA recommendation. Is exactly what developer needs in order to provide our customers a very friendly and a very safe journey towards their mobile transaction. Wallet Hub
Phone 8 will include Nokia's mapping technology built in. But I think there are some Nokia fans out there, or people who live in countries around the world where they know the benefit of the Nokia map data. One of the big things that's going to be an improvement as a result of this technology and platform change is Windows Phone around the world will have much better detail. In our partnership with Nokia, Nokia is delivering turn-by-turn directions, which will be included in Windows Phone in many countries around the world. And a little later on, Kevin Shields from Nokia will be out here to talk in a bit more detail about how that looks and how that works. So that is the number 6 platform benefit that's built into Windows Phone 8. On number 7, I'm going to address an audience that we really have not quite managed to address as fully as we would like. Unfortunately, for those of you who have been exposed to this audience, you know that some IT administrators have been somewhat dissatisfied with what Windows Phone 7 has had to offer for their enterprise or business. There have been a number of gaps. We think we have them filled in Windows Phone 8, and Windows Phone 8 is ready for business. What are the gaps? Windows Phone 8 will support encryption and secure boot. So an IT administrator or an enterprise that's concerned about the safety of its corporate data on all those phones scattered around the world, they can rest easy knowing that Microsoft's well-known and proven BitLocker technology will be encrypting the contents of the device with secure boot enabled. To admit, I'm going to be stretching a little bit here to call it a platform feature. You might want to call me on it, but that's okay. I want to get out there and do it anyway. And the reason why is I'm an end-user guy, and there's an end-user feature that we've been working on, which really does have platform implications. And it aligns with Windows 8. But from my point of view, it's an end-user feature. And it's frankly, I think, the sexiest thing in Windows Phone 8. You may disagree, it's my opinion. But I want to show it to you. And I think it's something that none of you have seen so far. We're changing the start screen. And for us, this is a big deal because the start screen is sort of the core of the Metro experience. So let me take you on a tour of what's going to be new here for end users in the new start screen. It starts with a tile. Our tiles are special because they're alive. They're a way to see things about your data that's constantly changing. And these live tiles are the heart and soul, in our opinion, of Windows Phone. The tile is a simple and elegant thing, but it's really powerful, and no other phone has these tiles. When someone starts putting their stuff into one of our phones, it officially becomes their phone from the inside out, in a more profound way than any other smartphone does. It literally gets powered by their passions and interests, by their likes and their loves, and the things and people they care about most. We know that our users really love their phones, and we think the biggest reason is that live tiles make the phone so special and so personal. It's like a unique fingerprint that reflects each and every part of them. These live tiles are essentially the face of Windows Phone, and in Windows Phone 8, we're going to make that face more beautiful and even more personal. So I am pretty happy to introduce to you today the new Windows Phone 8 start screen. Our users have told us they want it to be